Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are in level 5. We completed Tisra Nadai, the concepts for Adi Thala. We also completed Ganda Nadai and the concepts for Adi Thala, and the generic concepts as well, and how you can absorb certain things, do a relational study. Today I am going to cover the Tisra Nadai concept in basic ideas of how to approach it to different thalas. Like how do we do a Tisra Nadai in Rupaka Thalam? How do we do Tisra Nadai in Misra Chapathalam? How do we approach Tisra Nadai in Ganda Chapathalam and Ganda Tripathalam? I'll give you the perspective. The idea for covering so many thalas is to give you an idea how you can adapt one learning to multiple areas. That's the very purpose of this. We will go about it in this class. Before I get into the class, I will start this class with a Tirukkural. Avavinai ஆற்ற அறுப்பின் தவாவினை தான் வேண்டும் ஆற்றின் வரும். What is the meaning of it? ஒருவன் ஆசையை முற்றும் ஒழித்தால், if a person can get rid of desire completely, அவன் கெடாமல் வாழ்வதற்குரிய நல்வினைகள் தான் விரும்பியவாறே வரும். He will not be affected. It will be ensured that you don't go into a wrong path, and good deeds will follow you if you get rid of this desire. That's what Thiruvallur mentions in this Thirukkural. With this good thought, we will enter into the class. We are in Pancha Nadai level 5. I just concluded the approach of Tisra Nadai for Adi Thalam when I started with Pancha Nadai. Then I went into Ganda Nadai and taught you several ideas and concepts, the basic ideas, and different chorways formulated which can be played. Few are classic chorways played by exterior Laya Vidwans. Few are my ideas, and few are taught by my masters. So all these put together, I think would have put you in a better state of understanding of this Nadai. It's a time and space concept, as I keep repeating. All these Pancha Nadais like Pancha Bhutams, you can't feel it. You have to realize it. No, it is virtual. It's an illusionary way of playing. The whole art form, it's more an illusion. And how good you are in playing this, presenting this illusion to this world, and that's the beauty of this art. So all these nadais, you have to fit it perfectly with your Brahmalayam. Not all people possess with this Brahmalayam, and people who have the passion, they can try to, by practice, they can get to that Laya. Some are naturally talented. Some they have to work on, and nothing is impossible. Being part of this academy, if you rehearse the way, the right approach, if you follow, I'm sure you're going to pick up the skill quite easily. So it's important to understand the concepts. Now, before I get into Rupaka Thalam Tisra Nadai, I want you to understand the basics of what all you can do with Tadikitatum. Tadikitatum is a 6, magic number 6, Tisra Nadai. It is Tadikitata, Tadikitata, Tadikitata. So it's a very fundamental way of representing Tisra Nadai. Another microscopic form of Tadikitatum is Takita. Takita din, takita din, takita din, takita din, takita 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 It's like a horse ride. It gives a sort of a lilt for anybody. Any folk music, this Tisra Nadai is predominantly, you can visualize it. In any of the cine songs, you will see there's a lot of lilt, there will be a lot of flavor of Tisra Nadai. So it's a natural, inborn, liking for everybody, desire to play Tisra Nadai. Now, let's understand technically also. Tadi Ketatham in its lower form is Tadi Ketathum. In further lower form, Takdi Ketakdum. Takdi Ketakdum. What is happening in Tadi Ketathum, if you look with a microscope, you can see in its granular form Tha Di Hi Ki Tha Tum. One, the D is elongated to two syllables. Ki Na Tum is one syllable. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. So that's a combination, it's there. So when you want to take it, build it for to understand much better, you can make it as 2, 4, 2, 2, 2 or 3, 6, 3, 3, 3. You can do this form as you increase the number, you get a bigger Tadi Ketathum. So Tadi Ketathum is the base form. When you take a stack of 2, Tadi Ketathum, which is 4, 6, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2. Tadi Ketathum. The next form is 3, 6, 3, 3, 3. Tak dik dik kik tak dum. Tak dik dik kik tak dum. Next version is 4, 8, 4, 4, 4. Taga di ki ta tum. Taga di ki ta tum. So first you have to understand this. Now try to tell all these in Tisra format. Tadikata, 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 ta. Tadikata, 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 ta. Takdi, kikitakudungu, takdi, kikitakudungu, takdi, kikitakudungu, ta. Tagadi, kikitakudungu, tagadi, kikitakudungu, tagadi, kikitakudungu, ta. So before even you get into the Tisra Nadai, if you can rehearse all this, it gives you the grip of Tisra. And again I will teach you some fundamentals of how to go approach Tisra. Tisra need not necessarily be all time 6. It can also be a 4. When you repeat it thrice, it's 12. Takadina, takadina, takadina. Takadina, takadina, takadina. In Chatusra form, if you want to tell Tisra, takadina, 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 takadina. If you draw a line for a 6 syllable, takadina, taka, dina, takadina, that's the split you get. Takadina, 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 takadina. Only when you have understood it right, you will be able to. Otherwise, somebody without drawing this line, if somebody tries to say 3 takadina, can you tell it this? Takadina, 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 takadina. It will not be falling in place. What I meant to say is first I go to the basic understanding clearly. Takadina, 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 takadina. That's important. Now, Tadiketathum, if you want to say in Tisram, again you have to do Tadiki natonta, dingi natonta, dingin natonta. What does it mean? So for each, Tadikinathum is 5, but when you are telling in Tisra Nadai, Tadingi natonta, dingi na, dhumta di, kinnathum tha. So you should understand this idea first. Then only you will be able to tell Tisram of Tadikinathum in lower form in Tisra Nadai. Dimmi taka juno taka dimmi ta dingi natonta, dingi natonta, dingi natonta. So when you want to tell an higher version of Tadikinathum in Tisra Nadai, Tadingi natonta, dingi natonta, dingi natonta, dingi natonta, dingi natonta, dingi natonta. When you have to Tadingi natonta, dingi natonta di, kinatonta dingi, natonta dingi na, dhumta dingi natom. Only then the Tisra perfectly fits there. Okay, this is the idea. Idea of how to tell a 5 in Tisram, how to tell a 5 in a higher form in a Tisram, how to tell a group of 3 5s and a 3. 3 plus Thong tadiketako tadiketatu tadiketatum. Let's take a multiple of 6, 18. And 18 can be represented as tadiketatu tadiketatu tadiketatu. That's easy. Because each finger you get 1 6. But if you want to say a combination of 3 and 3 plus 5 into 3, then that becomes tricky. Thong tadingi natum tadingi na duntadingi natum. That's the split there. So you need to do the homework. You need to do the homework and understand how it comes. So in Adi Thalam, if you want to say last 3 fingers, you will be able to tell easily when you understood the concept. Likewise, so it's again a stack of 6 of 24 if you want to take. 7 into 3 is 21 plus 3, 24. Again you want to take a stack of 30, 9 into 3, 27 plus 3. 3 plus 9 into 3 is 3 plus 27 is 30. So all these stacks you should practice first. So 3 fingers. Then is what? 3 plus 21 is 24. 24 divided by 6 is 4 beats. So that's 4 beats. Then 5 beats. These are all the basics of Tisra Nadai. These groupings you should understand. Once you understand this grouping, then you can play very well. You will be able to play quickly a chord way. So the moment you get the grasp of the understanding, so you can play all these groupings, you can fix and then try to establish your Tisra Nadai in a much grander way. So these are all the basics of Tisra Nadai. I want you to first practice all these things. Now, I'm going to today cover how to adapt the Tisra Nadai, whatever I taught you in Adi Thalam, into this Rupaka Thalam. So these ideas can be used across the board. You can use whatever the ideas, whatever I talked till now, you can use it across any of these thalas because these are all generic concepts. But the way you have to structure or play a nadai in a particular thala, you need to follow some set patterns. The pattern is din, dim, tatta, dim, takka, din, na, dim, nam, dugutaka, din, dim, dim, tatta, dim, takka, din, na, dim, nam, dugutaka, din, So again, when I taught you in Adi Thalam, dim, dim, tatha is nothing like a takadina, takadina, takadina. Chadusra, when you tell 3 times, it's the Tisra format, and that's how you get it. Then, tata, go back to my class for understanding the Tisra formation. Then the next, the way you reduce it, din, tata, din, taka, din, din, tomketa, keta, taka, 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 keta, taka, din, tata, din, taka, din, din, tomketa, keta, taka, 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 keta, din, tadin, tadim. Now, how to reduce this? this Rupaka format of Dinkittadagadin Dinna, you can play in Tisra Nadai. In fact, the entire Thala of Rupakam you can approach in Tisra Nadai. I will teach you later, but for now, for the Nadai purpose, you can use this format. Dinkittadagadin Dinna, Din Din Kadagadin Dinna, Din Din Kadagadin. So if you look at Rupaka Thala, it comes for 3 beats. Din kitta din din na din din kitta din din na din din kitta dun kitta dari kitta. The same thing you are playing as part of Tisra Nadai. The 3 becomes a 2. Time and space management. You are playing it a little faster in a 2-beat cycle. Din kitta din din na din din kitta din din na din din kitta dun kitta din kitta din din na din din kitta din din na din din kitta dun kitta. Then dimmi dimmi taka 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 dimmi taka dimmi taka dimmi taka dimmi. You can play the same things. I'll teach you one by one. This is the first paragraph. Then tangutata dimmi tangutata dimmi tangutata dimmi tangutata dimmi tangutata dimmi tangutata dimmi. Repeat it thrice. Tangadagata dimmi tangadagata dimmi tangadagata dimmi tangadagata dimmi tangadagata dimmi tangadagata dimmi. Tangadagata 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 tangadagata. Takadadum, takadanadam, tatakadanadam. Takadadum, takadanadam, tatakadanadam. Takadanadam is the midpoint. Takadanadam, takadanadam, takadanadam. Dadikadaga, dadikadaga, dadikadadum is like playing like a dummy play. Takadadum, takadanadam, tatakadanadam, dadikadaga, dadikadaga, dadikadadum is a little refined play. Dadikadadum, takadanadam, tatakadanadam, dadikadaga, dadikadaga, dadikadaga. When you play that, the later part as also 5, 6, 7, it becomes interesting. Takadadum, takadanadam, tatakadanadam, dadikadaga, 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 takadadum, takadanadam, tatakadanadam, dadikadaga, dadikadaga, dadikadaga. It actually comes from the behind and kicks the next phrase. It's something like pushing type. It's not from summum to summum, it's all like it's aesthetic way of playing. So that's how you have to play the approach of Tisra Nadai. I taught you some concepts, you have to absorb those concepts. This is the vanilla way of playing at Tisra Nadai in a Rupaka Thalam. Understand this. I'll teach you some interesting chord wise, 1 or 2, so which can be very useful for you. Pa takita takita danadim, tata takita takita danadim, pa takita takita danadim, akdi, kiktak dung dadi, kitatum dadi kitakrakdi, kiktak dung dadi, kitatum dadi kitakrakdi, kiktak dung dadi kitakadi kitakadi kitakada. This tadikitatum can be played as tadikitaka, tadikitaka, tadikitaka. So it gives a continuity. Last time you can play as 3 tadikitums as well. So this is one of the chord ways. Another chord way I want to teach you, it's very simple. Takita tadikitata, tadit tadikitata, tat tadikitata, 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 tadikitata. When you tell in Tisra Nadai, takita tadikitagada, 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 takita tadikitagada, 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 takita tadikitagada, 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 tadikkataka tadikkataka tha, tadikkataka 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 tha. This is another way of playing. It's a very simple chord, but it's very effective. The studying edudum, when you can play in different formats of studying edudum, takada idangurdu da, takada idangurdu takada idangurdu da, takada idangurdu takada idangurdu takada idangurdu da, tarada idangurdu da, tarada idangurdu tarada idangurdu da, tarada idangurdu tarada idangurdu idangurdu da, tarada idangurdu da. So when you play all these phrases, it enriches the chord to a greater extent. So I want you to practice all this as part of this Tisra Nadai. It's just a eye-opener for playing this Tisra Nadai in Rupaka Thalam. The next class I'm going to cover the similar approaches for also. Now it's very useful when you wanted to showcase your talent in Misra Chapathalam, in Ganda Chapathalam or Ganda Tripathalam. I will go each class I will cover. Next class I will cover Misra Chapathalam. The class next I will cover Ganda Chapathalam and also Ganda Tripathalam and some of the Tisra Nadai approaches per se overall to give you a better understanding of how to deal this topic. I'll conclude this class with the Tirukkural. I'll see you in the next class with Tisra Nadai in Misra Chapathalam as part of Pancha Nadai chapter in level 5. Ava illarku illahum tunbam agdundel tava adu menmel varum. What is the meaning of it? Ava illadhavargalukku tunbam illai. If a person is not having desire, he will not be affected by any grief. Ava irundal tunbamum vidamal vandu konde irukum. If he has desire, obviously he will be followed up with harmful acts and he will be feeling sorrowful because of his own desire. That's what Tirullar mentions in this Tirukkural. I'm concluding this class. In the next class, I will see perspectives of this Nadai in other thalas. Until then, Pavanur RVA signing off.